Breaking news out of Chicago, as Sean just said. According to police, 14 people were injured, most of them shot, near a funeral home in a community called Auburn Gresham. Now, at a presser just a short time ago, police said there was some kind of planned ambush outside the funeral home where a memorial service was going on inside for a homicide victim. At the end of last week in Chicago, murders were up 51%, shootings were up 44%. 47% actually, and despite those staggering numbers, Mayor Lori Lightfoot has presided over a city that has turned into the Wild West. Now, let me make this as clear as I can make it tonight. It's open season on the citizens of Chicago, and the mayor cannot be bothered to accept real federal help. You know why? Because of her seething hatred for Donald Trump. That is outweighing her concern for the citizens that she is supposed to be serving. Now, the head of the Chicago Fraternal Order of Police was here tonight to react to Mayor Lori Lightfoot's refusal to accept federal help, but will instead react to this story. John Catanzara joins me now exclusively. John, are you as unhinged as Mayor Lightfoot says you are? See, she's putting it on you, Mr. Catanzara. That's what she's doing, putting it on you. And maybe it's Fox or it's Trump or everyone but looking in the mirror and also going after the criminals.
Well, good evening, Laura. Thanks for having me. First of all, you know, the mayor likes to use the word unhinged. The ironic part is that the mayor became unhinged. I wish I could show you the text messages that she sent me over the weekend as soon as she found out that I had sent the request to President Trump. I mean, she was the one who became totally unhinged, unprofessional, childish. It was really pathetic for a leader of a city.
Well, right now we have carnage as far as the eye can see. We don't know what will happen. We certainly hope we don't have deaths out of these injuries. But it looked pretty wild out there in the scene that they were showing. This is outside of a funeral home. So if you're going to shoot outside of a funeral home where there was some signage about the funeral they had on the street, and apparently there was some police presence somewhere on the scene, you've gotten really bold, haven't you, John? You're pretty bold at that point as a criminal. You're not worried.
Well, you know, like Sean's guest just said, the bold is there because they know there's no consequences. The justice system in Cook County is totally broken, all the way from the President Preckwinkle to Kim Fox, the prosecutor, to Tom Dart, the sheriff, to Tim Evans, the chief judge. They have no idea what real justice is. And that's basically the bloodbath in the street is the result.
Well, Lori Lightfoot, just to bring people into this back and forth, to put it politely, John, between you and Lightfoot, this is what she said. Everyone watch.
We've got an unhinged leader of the Fraternal Order of Police who is craven and trying to generate attention. This is a dangerous road for us to go down. We're not going to have people that don't know our streets engaging in clearly unconstitutional conduct, operating at will in our city. That is chaos. That is lawlessness.
That's chaos. What we're seeing tonight wasn't chaos, but you're wanting federal help and actual assistance is chaos. This woman doesn't know her own city, okay? It's a travesty. I thought I was mad about other things tonight, given what's going on in this country, but this is an outrage. It's a great American city. It's being disserved by her. She's a radical. They need to toss her out of office. John, go ahead.
She's literally running the Titanic into an iceberg intentionally. 56 rounds fired, I'm told, and 17 people shot tonight at a funeral where there was police, obviously special attention because of the gang victim that was already being waked at the funeral home. You know, the irony about her not knowing the city streets and the federal officers, and this isn't a knock on Superintendent Brown because I really like Superintendent Brown, but she just hired an outsider who didn't know the city, who didn't know the streets. So what's the difference? Again, she's a big hypocrite. She has a bit of a Napoleon complex. If you don't agree with her, heaven forbid.
Well, for funeral attendees, I understand, returned fire on the vehicle. So these were all gangbangers, right? I mean, this is, if you had to like just sum it up and for us, I mean, you conjecture at this point, we need to know more. But people are firing on each other. I mean, we called it the Wild West. This is a killing field in Chicago. And we're complaining about Trump? Are you kidding me? Talk about blame shifting, putting it on you and the Fraternal Order of Police. Or the cops on the beat? What the heck are the cops supposed to do when they have no support from City Hall? What are they supposed to do?
You highlighted the obviously increase in shootings and murders, but, Superintendent Brown basically said yesterday that the police department has recovered 5,400 guns so far this year off the streets of Chicago. Now, as he properly highlighted, that's 5,400 deadly encounters that the men and women of the police department have, dealt with over the first 6 months of this year, and not a single person, well, I shouldn't say not a single person. I think there's only been 3 shootings that resulted in death. But my point is, how many more guns or how many more murders would occur if those guns weren't taken off the street? And more importantly, there's a lot of people that were arrested with those guns that were immediately let back out on the street again. And it goes right back to Kim Foxx and the broken county jail system.
This is the revolving door of so-called criminal justice reform. Someone's arrested on a Monday, they're released on Tuesday morning, they get their criminal defender, their public defender, and we're crying about how unfair the system is. And I just want to, and if everyone's just joining us tonight, there was a disturbing scene in Chicago a few hours ago at a funeral where we had 14 people shot, many in the hospital. People were returning fire from the funeral to the cars that were going off in different directions, apparently that were responsible for the shootings, coming from multiple directions, the reports we're getting tonight, John. And at the same time as this is happening tonight, we have utter lawlessness in another great American city of Portland, Oregon. And we have people in Portland, Oregon who are telling the media not to cover it, because that tells a very distorted story, and people are covering it because they want to hurt people politically. No, we want to cover it because we want to save lives, property, and livelihoods. What will happen if AOC and the gang get their way with Biden and the whole crowd and defund the police? Because this is defund and dismantle the police movements across this country. John, is tonight's scene going to be repeated across urban America?
Well, I don't know about urban America, but, Chicago's pretty unique to anywhere else in the country. I've said it time and time again that we're approximately, New York is 2.5 times the size population-wise to Chicago, but we have 40% more murders than the whole city of New York. Just let that sink in. I mean, there is a lawless mindness set in this city where, they just do whatever they want because there is no repercussion, there is no accountability. This is piggybacking on Friday night's scene where there was a large group of officers trying to protect a Christopher Columbus statue that was being attempted to be pulled down. 52 officers were injured in that melee, and they want to pretend like this was just a handful of anarchists that embedded themselves in this protest. The protesters knew that this was going to happen. They protected these people until they went down. And we talk about accountability, lastly, just this point. So accountability, they cry that police officers don't speak out, the thin blue line. They protect bad behavior. What about all those good protesters who stood there and watched these anarchists hurl fireworks, frozen water, bricks at officers and did nothing? They did nothing.
I'm tired of the line that they're all the good protesters. You shouldn't be out throwing stuff at police or standing by other people who are throwing stuff at police, okay? Shouldn't be pulling down statues. They're not your property. If you want to take down a statue, go the legal way and petition your local alderman and do it that way. Don't put ropes around statues and pull them down, okay? That's thuggish behavior, and we're tolerating it in Chicago and all across this country. It's a broken windows theory. It's a broken statues theory, okay?